South Africa's police leadership is back under intense scrutiny tonight as President Cyril Ramaphosa firmly denies any external influence in one of the most critical appointments in the country's security system. At the center of the controversy is the appointment of National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola and explosive claims that a private individual may have played a role behind the scenes. But the president is now pushing back, clearly and decisively. In written responses submitted to Parliament's ad hoc committee, Ramaphosa stated that forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan had absolutely no influence on his decision. Mr. O'Sullivan played no role whatsoever, the president said, emphasizing that the appointment was made strictly within constitutional powers. Here's why this matters. The position of National Police Commissioner is one of the most powerful roles in South Africa's law enforcement system. It oversees policing strategy, crime response, and national security coordination. So any suggestion that the process may have been influenced externally raises serious concerns about governance, transparency, and accountability. The claims originated from O'Sullivan himself. During testimony before the same parliamentary committee, he alleged that he had been approached to vet candidates for the top police job. According to his account, he was given a list of names and asked to conduct lifestyle audits. Among those names, he claimed, were both Masemola and KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. O'Sullivan suggested that his findings influenced which candidates were considered suitable. But the presidency has now rejected that version of events. Ramaphosa says the decision followed a standard process, one that included consultation with the then police minister and his national security advisor, Sidney Mufamadi. No external input, no unofficial vetting, no outside influence. The president also addressed his past connection with O'Sullivan. He confirmed that the two first met in 1997 when Ramaphosa underwent training as a police reservist. O'Sullivan, he said, was one of the instructors. But since then, there has been no meaningful contact and no working relationship. Ramaphosa acknowledged that O'Sullivan may have attempted to communicate with individuals in his office over the years, but he was clear on one point. Nothing shared by O'Sullivan was ever used in making any official decision. The controversy doesn't end there. The president also denied claims that he instructed his former advisor, Bejani Chauke, to engage O'Sullivan in the appointment process. Chauke himself has backed that position. He told the committee that while many individuals, including O'Sullivan, approached him with suggestions, he did not solicit their involvement, and he did not allow outside pressure to influence the final decision. According to Chauke, this is not unusual. When major appointments are being considered, lobbying often increases, but he insists that those efforts did not affect the outcome. Here's what that means for South Africans. At a time when trust in public institutions is under pressure, the integrity of high-level appointments is crucial. People need to know that decisions are made based on merit, not influence, not connections, and not private interests. Because when leadership appointments are questioned, it can undermine confidence in the entire system. The issue also comes amid broader concerns about policing and governance in South Africa. The ad hoc committee investigating these matters is already examining allegations of political interference, corruption, and internal tensions within the police service, and the role of leadership is central to all of it. Adding another layer to the situation, Ramaphosa also addressed concerns about the structure of the police ministry itself. He confirmed that suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu had not assigned responsibilities to his deputy ministers. That includes Kesal Matale and Polly Boshilo. According to the president, this issue will now form part of ongoing performance assessment of ministers. These assessments are conducted by both the president and the deputy president and are designed to evaluate effectiveness, accountability, and leadership. Ramaphosa made it clear that the lack of assigned responsibilities is not acceptable and will be addressed. Meanwhile, the deputy ministers themselves have told the committee that despite not having formal powers, they continued to carry out oversight functions. But the situation raises questions about coordination, efficiency, and governance within the police ministry. Experts say this highlights a broader challenge. Leadership in law enforcement must be clear, structured, and accountable, because without that, even well-funded systems can struggle to deliver results. As the investigation continues, attention will remain focused on how decisions are made at the highest levels of government and whether existing systems are strong enough to prevent undue influence. For now, President Ramaphosa's position is firm. The appointment of Fani Masemola was his decision, made within the constitution and free from outside interference. But as Parliament continues its work, more questions may still emerge, and South Africans will be watching closely. Because in a country facing complex crime challenges, leadership in policing is not just important, it is essential.